I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth. No single space project in this period will be more impressive to mankind or more important for the long-range exploration of space.
That was President John F. Kennedy on May 25, 1961, announcing his goal for NASA and asking Congress for tens of millions of dollars to finance that goal. When, in May 1961, President Kennedy announced that America would send men to the moon in the decade of the 60s, the goal seemed right out of a science fiction movie. In 1961, NASA could barely send satellites into orbit, and at the time of that speech, NASA had only sent one man into space. Just 2 weeks before Kennedy's speech, Alan Shepard had flown the first manned suborbital flight. An American had not yet even orbited the Earth, and now the president was declaring that we would send men to the moon and back.
10, 9, we have ignition sequence start. Engines on, 5, 4, 3, 2, all engines running. Launch commenced. Liftoff. We have liftoff 49 minutes past the hour.
That was on May 18, 1969, 8 years after Kennedy's announced goal, and that was the launch of Apollo 10, commanded by Weatherford, Oklahoma's Tom Stafford. Interestingly, another Oklahoman, Shawnee's Gordon Cooper, was his backup on the number 2 crew. Eugene Cernan was the lunar module pilot, and John Young was the command module pilot. The mission included everything necessary to complete the goal President Kennedy had set years earlier, everything except actually landing on the moon. This spacecraft was the second Apollo mission to orbit the moon, but the first to travel to the moon with the full Apollo spacecraft, consisting of the command and service module named the Charlie Brown and the lunar module named Snoopy. The mission was a full dry run or dress rehearsal for the Apollo 11 mission, in which all operations except the actual lunar landing were performed.